So, good morning to all of you. This is a really very hard time because due to COVID-19, the humanity is suffering, okay, and the number of infected patients as well as the death roll, okay, it's keep on rising day by day, and the whole world is in lockdown. It's very difficult time for each and everyone. All the other activities, economical activities, are ceased almost. But whatever is possible, that we must carry on. As the economical activities of country are seized, so obviously countries will have economical problems later on. But at the same time, if we talk about the educational sector, the children, they are in their homes, okay, they are locked over there, they are staying at home, they are not coming out, okay, but their studies should not suffer. Being an educator, being a teacher, okay, being a parent, we should try to help out the children, because this COVID must not be allowed to affect the future of our children. Its effect must be contained in present only, not in future. So, with this thought, I thought that I should start the videos for class 11th also. So I'm going to start the 0th chapter. See, it is chapter 0. Okay, and this is KG Misra in front of you. Okay, I will coming with the other parts of the video also on YouTube. Okay, on my channel, that is Fearless Education. Okay, so all of you keep on watching and keep on studying. See, chapter 0, and the name of the chapter is Mathematical Tools. Why this chapter is 0 and why it is required? See, my dear children, we studied lots of formulae in mathematics till class 10th, and out of those, all the formulas are required in physics. Okay, because people say that it is so always told that mathematics is the mother of science. So mathematics is required because you have to do lots of calculations and numerical problems in physics. And other than those formulas you have studied till class 10th, will require logarithm, will require some higher mathematics also, like differentiation, integration, okay, binomial theorem. So it actually these things mathematics students study sometimes, okay, they study in the 11th and 12th. They require from the beginning of the 11th in physics. So we cannot wait for the math syllabus to finish and then we can start physics, okay. And for the bio students, again, it is very difficult, okay, because they are not going to study those mathematical formulas. So it's better to give you the needed formulas in the beginning and then start physics. And that's why I've decided to come up with the 0 chapter. Okay. So see, there are certain algebraic formulas I've written here. Algebraic identities are there, okay. First one is, you are very much familiar, a plus b whole square is a square plus 2ab plus b square. Okay. Again, a plus b whole square can be also written as a minus b whole square plus 4ab. Third one, a minus b whole square is a square minus 2ab plus b square. Okay. A minus b whole square is also equal to a plus b whole square minus 4ab. Fifth formula, a square minus b square is a plus b into a minus b. Okay. And a plus b whole cube is a cube plus 3a square b plus 3ab square plus b cube. Okay. Seventh one is a minus b whole cube is equals to a cube minus 3a square b plus 3ab square minus b cube. Okay. So now these are the 7 algebraic formulas. We will have more formulas. Okay. So I'm going to write the other formulas also. Okay. Now 8th one is a cube plus b cube equal to a plus b into a square minus ab plus b square. This is also known as factorization formula, okay, because see, they are written in terms of factor, multiply. Okay, a cube minus b cube is what? It is a minus b into a square plus ab plus b square. Okay. Now a plus b whole square plus a minus b whole square. You know this form. This has formula a square plus b square plus 2ab. This has formula a square plus b square minus 2ab. So plus 2ab minus 2ab will cancel out. Okay. A square plus b square, a square plus b square. So what you will have? 2a square and 2b square. So 2 we can take common, a square plus b square. Okay. Here a plus b whole square minus a minus b whole square. A plus b whole square is what? A square plus b square plus 2ab. A minus b whole square is what? A square plus b square minus 2ab. But minus sign is there. So it will come minus a square minus b square plus 2ab. So plus 2ab plus 2ab 4ab and plus a square minus a square plus b square minus b square will cancel out. Okay. This a plus b plus c whole square having 3 terms. So we get the formula a square plus b square plus c square plus 2ab plus 2bc plus 2ca. So these are the 12 algebraic identities, okay, which we will require in physics. Okay, so you must note it down. Please note it down. Done. Okay. See, next is quadratic equation. Now what is quadratic equation? You already studied it class 10th, I think. Okay. See, it is an equation which has got degree 2. Degree means the highest power of variable, not constant. Okay, that is called degree. Now see, I am suppose writing like this: ax square plus bx plus c equal to 0. Okay, so see, what is a, what is b, what is c? These are the constants. What is x? It is variable. Now this x has got how much high, what is the highest power of x? You can see it is x square is there. Here x raised power 1 is there. Here x raised power 0 is there. No, not there. It's there because x raised power 0 is how much? It is 1. So can you write c as c into 1? You can write. So x raised power 0 is here, although it is not visible. Okay. So there are things which which are not visible, like air, but it is there. The same way x raised power 0 is here, x raised power 1 is there, x raised power 2 is there. So what is the highest power of x in this? It is 2. So when the highest power is 2, that we call degree of the equation is 2. Okay, and if degree is 2, then we call it quadratic equation. Okay, if degree is 3, we call it cubical equation. Okay, clear? In the same way, if degree keep on rising, you will have different types of equations. So this is a quadratic equation. But what should be the condition? Condition is that a must not be equal to 0. Because once a becomes 0, 0 into something is 0. So this part will be eliminated. Then what will be the degree of equation? 1, because its highest power is 1. This will become 0, so 1. So if the degree is 1, then it becomes a linear equation, which you studied in class 9th. Okay. So that's why we impose this condition that a is not equal to 0. Now, once you have written this condition that a is not equal to 0, now we are going to find the solution for this. What is the formula to find the solution? Okay. By Siddharacharya method, actually what we define first, discriminant, that is d is equals to b square minus 4ac. Okay. We find this. Now, when we find this, what happens? No, there are certain conditions. First, let me tell you how to find the formula. X is equals to minus b plus minus square root of d upon 2a. Okay. Whatever is multiplied with the x, that is a. Okay, whatever x square, that is a. Whatever is multiplied with the x, that is b, and the number which is there without x, that is c. Okay, you can find out discriminant, and then using that you can find out the two values. How two values? In one value you will consider only plus, so you will get one value. In other value you will consider the minus, so you will get the value. Okay, but that means you can have maximum how many solutions? Maximum 2 solutions. Okay, but there are certain conditions. Like see, if d is equals to 0, then what will happen? Then it will have single solution. Okay, and that solution what we call it root. What we call it? The solution is called root. Okay, so it will have single root. Okay, if d is equal to 0, discriminant is equal to 0. Clear? Note it down. Noted? Okay. Now let's go to the other part. If d is not 0, this was the first one. Second one, d is greater than 0. That means it is positive. So what will happen? Then equation will have two different roots. Okay, if d is greater than 0, then it will have two different roots. Okay, and these roots are real. Okay, real roots. Real roots means you will not find anything imaginary, like see square root of minus something. Okay, that minus, you have not been taught to find the square root of minus numbers, negative numbers. Okay, but if you going to take mathematics, then you will study in class 11th. Okay, that is again called imaginary numbers. Okay, so here you will find real numbers. Okay, whatever numbers you have studied. Okay, so it will in that numbers, and you will get two different roots. Now third case. In third case, what will happen? If d is less than 0, then equation will have two different imaginary roots. Okay, if d is less than 0, then it will have two imaginary roots. Okay, you might be wondering what is this imaginary. Don't worry. Okay, it is nothing new. Very small part is there. I will tell you just. Once you have noted, just note down. Okay, noted. Let me tell you how it can be imaginary. What is imaginary actually? See, if d is less than 0, that means d is negative, because numbers less than 0, those are negative. Okay, so suppose in the d you are getting, suppose minus 25. Okay, so what is the, suppose your b is suppose, just I'm taking example. Okay, b is 4, so x will be what, and a is suppose 2. Okay, so what you will get? See, what you are going to get, let me tell you. It is like this. You will get minus b plus minus square root b by 2 by a. Okay, that is formula. So b is how much? Minus 4 you will get here, because b is 4, and plus minus the square root of minus 25, and this is 2. Okay, just see, I have kept according to the formula. Now what happens? No, it is very difficult for you because you don't know. See my child, can we write this like this? Minus 4 plus minus square root of 25 into square root of minus 1. Can we write like this? Because 25 into minus 1 is what? It is minus 25. Okay. Now 2 is there as it is. See my child, actually square root of minus 1 is called, written as iota. This is called I. This is called imaginary part I. Okay, imaginary part I. So what we can write here? Can we write minus 4 plus minus square root of 25 is 5, and this is I. Okay, that is called iota by 2. So this is your result. So again you are going to have two values. One value is minus 4 plus 5i upon 2. Second one is minus 4 minus 5i upon 2. Okay, so in this way we will have two imaginary roots of quadratic equation. Okay, just note it down. Okay. Our next topic is binomial theorem. Actually, this is chapter in class 11th mathematics. Okay, but students study it later on. But we may require in physics. Okay, earlier. So that's why we are going to study this. Okay. See, what this is very important, because see, whatever formulas you know, that is a plus b whole square or a plus b whole cube. Okay, that you can derive from this binomial theorem. And the formulas you don't know, that is you have not studied even, that is a plus b raised to the power 4, a plus b raised to the power 5, a plus b raised to the power 6, that also you can find out. So it is interesting, really it is very interesting. Okay, I hope you will take the interest in this. See, what is there in binomial theorem? Okay, see, actually it has got two parts. One is for positive power, okay, positive whole number power, and another is for any power. Any power means maybe fraction, maybe negative. Okay, it's for that. So first we are taking for suppose 1 plus x raised to the power n is there. Okay, where 1 and x are, where x is a real number. 1 we know it is 1. Okay, we need not to write. Where x is a real number, x is a real number, and n is a positive integer. Positive integer. Okay, positive integer, you know, it's positive number, it cannot be fraction. Okay, so this is actually part 1 of this binomial theorem. Then what will happen? Then what we can write? We can write 1 plus x raised to the power n is equals to, okay, we can write rather, instead of taking 1 we can take, okay, instead of 1 and x we can take a and b. Let it be a and b. Okay, so here we can write, here a and b are real numbers, that is more better. Okay, a and b, okay, are no specified a and b. Okay, a and b are real numbers. Okay, and n is a positive integer. What we'll write here? A plus b raised to the power n. What we will get? Let's see. Okay, we will get n c 0. Okay, a raised to the power n plus n c 1, a raised to the power n minus 1, b. Here b is not there, that because b power is 0. Here b is there, that is b raised to the power 1. Okay, actually sum of the powers of a and b equal to 1. So here a has got power n, so b has got power 0. So 0 plus n is how much? N. A has got power n minus 1, b has got power 1. So n minus 1 plus 1 is how much? N. Always you will see that this remains constant. N c2 a raised to the power n minus 2 b square. Again add their powers, what you will get? N. Plus n c3 a raised to the power n minus 3 b cube plus n c4 a raised to the power 4 n minus 4 b raised to the power 4 plus dot dot dot. In this way we will keep on going. Okay, now what you will get here? We are going to take a general term. Suppose it is rth term. Okay, so we will have ncr, okay, a raised to the power n minus r, b raised to the power r. Okay, and then at last what we will have? ncn, okay, ncn a raised to the power n minus 1, that is 0, and b raised to the power n. Okay, please note it down. I know you might be wondering what is this nc0, because these things are new for you, no? But don't worry, just have patience. I will explain you one by one, and then you will be able to understand this, as well as you will be able to use this. Okay, provided you pay proper attention. So first note it down. Okay, noted. Now I'm going to explain you what is this actually. Okay. See, I will take the help of this NCR because this is general term. Okay. See, when you are having this NCR, no, you can expand this like this. One again, I will explain NCR. Again, you will have a one new term, but don't worry. I will explain that term also one by one. See, when we are writing NCR, okay, then what does it means? See, it means that n factorial upon r factorial n minus r factorial. You can see n is here, so I have written n factorial, r is here, r factorial, and here n minus r factorial has been written, upper minus lower factorial. Which factorial is also written by like this, r factorial n minus r factorial. In this way also people used to write. Okay. You might be wondering, sir, what is this factorial? He was explaining this NCR and NC1, NC2, and he came up with the new term factorial. Don't worry, I will let you know. See, what is factorial? Suppose you are writing here 5 factorial, or you can write it like this, 5 factorial. What is this? See, it is very easy, you know it very well. 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. This is called 5 factorial. When you are multiplying from 5 to 1, then that product is called 5 factorial. Similarly, if you have got 10 factorial, you can write like this or you can write like this, whichever symbol you like, okay, or whichever symbol you are comfortable. So 10 into 9 into 8 into 7 into 6 into 5 into 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay. In this way, if you are multiplying, then whatever product you are getting, that is 10 factorial. Sorry, by mistake I have written here 5. It is 10. Okay. So that is 10 factorial. So now you might be finding it useful, no? Which your teachers help you to learn in LKG classes, that is reverse counting. Because you can count like this 10, 9, 8, 7, 6, 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Okay, very fast. Now, you understood what is factorial? Okay. Now this factorial, we are writing in numbers. Suppose we have to write in symbols, then how can you write it? Because writing in numbers is very easy. But in symbols, you don't know which number, how to write, okay? So, suppose it's a number n. Or let us write in terms of numbers only first. Okay. Suppose it is 5 factorial. I'm going to take this symbol, okay? Let us take this symbol, okay? That's more easier. Because dot we don't have to write in this, okay? So if you're writing 5 factorial, what you can write? You can write 5. You have to write 4. Can you write 4 as 5 minus 1? Now, you have to write 3. Can you write 3 as 5 minus 2? Okay. You have to write 2. Can you write 2 as 5 minus 3? You have to write 1. Can you write multiply 5 minus 4? Can you write like this? This thing and this thing is same. Okay. That's what we do when we are writing in terms of symbols. Okay. Like suppose you got here n factorial. What you can write? n minus 1, n minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4 and dot. Because you don't know which number is n. Okay. If it is 5, then you will go till here. 1 less. Okay. If it is 6, then you will go till n minus 5. If n is 7, then you will go till n minus 6. Okay. In this way we write. Got it? Now, see one more thing from here. That is very important to understand. See, my dear children, I'm going to rub this upper one first. I think you might have noted it. Okay. See, from here, can we write 5 multiply factorial 4 is equal to factorial 5? Yes, I have taken this 5 out. So what is this? 4 into 3 into 2 into 1. what we call 4 into 3 into 2 into 1? It is 4 factorial. Can we write it? Okay. Now, can we also write this as 5 into 4 into 3 factorial? Yes, because we have taken out 5, we have taken out 4. Now, what is left? 3 into 2 into 1. 3 into 2 into 1 is what? 3 factorial. Okay. Further, can we write it like this? 5 into 4 into 3 into factorial 2. Can we write like this? Yes, because we have taken 5, we have taken 4, we have taken 3. What is left? 2 into 1. 2 into 1 is what? Factorial 2. Okay. In the same way, in case of n, what we can write? Factorial n can be written as n into factorial n minus 1. Okay. Clear? In the same way. Because here n you have taken, so it is from n minus 1 to 1. So it will become n minus 1 factorial. Also you can write n minus 1. You can write factorial n minus 2. Because these two terms you have taken out, so this is the factorial of n minus 2. From n minus 2 to 1. N minus 2, n minus 3, n minus 4, dot 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 1. At last you will get, okay. Also what you can do? n minus 1, n minus 2, factorial n minus 3. Okay. This we can write. Understood? Because these things we are going to use to understand that, okay, binomial theorem. So I hope you have understood this. Okay. But let me tell you one more thing. Okay. When it comes to 0 factorial or 0 factorial, then remember it is always 1. This you have to remember always. 0 factorial is 1. Got it? Okay. So now we can start. First we have to find out the values. First see NC0. Let us find the value of this. According to that formula, which formula we have written, that is NCR, is what? Factorial n upon factorial r into factorial n minus r. That's what we have written. So according to that formula, what we can write here? We can write n factorial. We can write 0 factorial. We can write n minus 0 factorial. Okay. Now tell me, what is n minus 0? Obviously it is n. So what will get? N factorial. Here what will get? 0 factorial, I have told it is 1. So 1 into n minus 0 is n, so I get n factorial. Now what will happen? N factorial and factorial will cancel out. What we will get? We will get 1. Because 1 into n factorial is n factorial only. So n factorial and n factorial will cancel out, we will get 1. So remember, NC0 is 1. Is n a specific number? No, it is variable. So when n is equals to 1, then what you will get? 1C0 is how much? 1. 2C0 is how much? 2. 2. It is 1 only. Because see, whatever is the value of n, we doesn't know. For all the values of n, we are getting here 1. That means if you are having 5C0, then also it is 1. If you are having 100C0, then also it is 1. If you are having 1000C0, then also it is 1. Getting my point? So wherever you find any value like NC0, 5C0, 10C0, 100C0, 27C0, always what you should write? 1. That is, value of that is how much? 1. Understood? Okay. So you got the value of LC0, so you can just generalize it in this way. Now, how to get the value of NC1? In the same way, we can put in that formula, that is factorial n, factorial 1, factorial n minus 1. Okay, sorry, I'm using the other symbol. Okay, factorial 1 is again 1, my children. So factorial 1 is 1. So what we can write? We can write this n factorial as n into n minus 1 factorial, which we have just discussed. Okay, and here what we are having? Only we are having n minus 1 factorial. Understood why I have written this in this form? Because see, both can be cancelled. Once both can be cancelled, what we left with? N. Okay. Now NC1 is N. Suppose it is 5C1, then what we will write? It is how much? Equal to N. NC1 is N, then 5C1 equal to 5. 100C1 is how much? 100. Okay. And 726C1 is equals to 726. Getting my point? In this way you can generalize these results, because these will help you to write the values without calculating. Clear? Okay. Let's move ahead. Now, in the same way, we have to find out the value of NC2. Okay. So, let me rub this first, then we will find NC2. NC2. It is again according to that formula, factorial n, factorial 2, factorial n minus 2. Okay. Now, what we can write? Can we write n, okay, into n minus 1, factorial n minus 2. Already we have discussed this. We can write it like this. What is factorial 2? 2 into 1, that will remain only 2. N minus 2 is there. So, what we will write? It will remain as it is, n minus 2. This factorial will cancel out. What we are going to left with? We will get finally n minus 1 upon 2. Okay. N minus 1 upon 2. That's what we are getting, because these factorials will cancel out. Okay. Now see, this is for this formula. But suppose you are having, suppose 5C2, then how you will get the value of it? Very easy. You have to just mentally calculate this, because instead of 5, what you are having, instead of n in the formula, what you are having here? 5. So what you will do? 5 into 5 minus 1 upon 2. 5 minus 1 is how much? 4. So 4 into 5 is how much? 20. 20 by 2 is how much? 10. You can calculate it this way. Suppose you are having 100 C2. What you will do? 100 and 100 minus 1 upon 2. Okay. So 100 upon 2 is how much? 50, and this is 99. So what you have to do? Very easily, you have to multiply this 50 with 99. It's not very tough, because this 0 you will place. 5 9 is 45. 4 is carry. 5 9 is 45. 45 plus 4, 49. So you will have 4950. Got it? It's very easy to get. So generalization of result, how to use this result, that is very important. Now we can find out NC3, NC4 and NC5. Okay, because these are used generally. Okay. Okay. Listen, I'm giving you this to find NC3, NC4 and NC5 as homework. Okay, you have to do this. In next video I will solve it for you. Just try at home. NC3, NC4, NC5. These things are homework for you, because actually we use till 5. Okay, so do as homework. Keep on studying. Take care of yourself and your family. Okay, follow the rules of lockdown. That's all. Bye bye.